Have you ever looked at your own life and felt a strange, terrifying feeling? Like you have been here before? Same argument, same ending, same pain, a different person, a different job, a different city, but somehow the same result. You promised yourself, never again. And yet here you are, again. If this has ever happened to you, this story is not a coincidence. Because what you are about to hear might be the most important thing you have ever understood about yourself. Stay with me until the end, because the answer will change how you see your entire life. This is the story of a man named Daniel. Daniel was not a bad person. He was actually one of the best people you could ever meet. Warm, generous, hardworking, always there when someone needed him. But Daniel had a problem, a strange, invisible problem that he could not explain and could not escape. Every time his life started going well, something went wrong. A good job, and then a fight with his manager that ended everything. A new friendship, and then a misunderstanding that pushed the person away. A chance at love, and then he did something, or said something, and it was gone. People around him started to notice. His sister once said to him, "Daniel, why does this always happen to you?" And Daniel had no answer, because he was asking himself the same question. Why? Why do I keep ending up here? Why does every good thing in my life fall apart? He thought maybe he was unlucky. Maybe he was cursed. Maybe he was just not meant for good things. But the truth was something far more surprising and far more hopeful. Daniel was 32 years old when the worst version of the pattern happened. He had finally found something real. A small company had hired him as a manager. His boss, Mr. Allen, believed in him completely. For the first 3 months, everything was perfect. Daniel worked harder than anyone. He arrived early, he stayed late. He solved problems before they became problems. Mr. Allen told him one afternoon, "Daniel, in 10 years of business, I have never had someone like you." Daniel smiled. But deep inside, something strange happened. A small, cold feeling in his chest. Almost like fear. He could not explain it, so he ignored it. But the feeling grew. The more Mr. Allen trusted him, the more uncomfortable Daniel became. He started arriving a little late. Small mistakes appeared. He began avoiding Mr. Allen's calls, and one afternoon in a meeting, Mr. Allen asked him a simple question, and Daniel snapped. He said something sharp, cold, unnecessary. The room went silent. Mr. Allen looked at him with hurt eyes. Within 2 weeks, Daniel had quit. That night, alone in his apartment, Daniel sat on the floor. He was not angry, he was not sad. He was confused. Why did I do that? I had everything. Why did I destroy it? He had no answer, but the universe was about to give him one. 3 weeks after losing the job, Daniel was cleaning his old room at his mother's house. In a dusty box under the bed, he found something. An old letter, written in a child's handwriting, his own handwriting. It was a letter he had written to himself at age 9. His teacher had asked the class, "Write a letter to your future self. Tell them what you are most afraid of." Daniel sat down slowly and began to read. The letter said, "Dear future me, I am afraid that if I do too well, Dad will leave again. Last time things were good, he left. So, maybe, if I stay small, he will stay." Daniel stopped reading. His hands were shaking. He was 9 years old when he wrote those words, and he had forgotten them completely. But his brain had never forgotten. You see, when Daniel was a child, something painful happened. Every time life felt good and safe, something would break. His father would disappear. The warmth would end. So Daniel's young mind made a secret rule to protect him. Good things don't last, and when they end, it destroys me. So, I will end them first, before they end me. That was the program. Hidden, silent, powerful. Running in the background of every job, every friendship, every chance at love. Psychologists call this repetition compulsion. It is when your mind keeps recreating old pain, not to hurt you, but to try to heal it. Your brain is trying to rewrite the old ending, to finally get control over the thing that once broke you. But without awareness, the loop never ends. You just keep destroying the good things, wondering why, calling yourself unlucky, when the truth is, you were never unlucky. You were just running a very old program, a program written by a child who was just trying to survive. Daniel sat on that floor for a long time. He did not cry immediately, he just sat there, breathing. Something was shifting inside him, like a door he had never known existed, slowly opening. For the first time in his life, he felt something strange. Compassion. For himself. Not shame, not anger. Compassion. He thought, that little 9-year-old boy was just trying to protect me. He did not know any better. He was just scared. And I have been punishing myself all these years for following his rules. Daniel picked up a pen. On the back of that old letter, he wrote, "Dear 9-year-old Daniel, thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe now. You can rest. I will take it from here." It sounds simple, but for Daniel, it was the most important thing he had ever written. Because in that moment, he did something the loop never allowed him to do before. He saw it. And what you can see, you can change. Daniel did not transform overnight. Life is not a movie. He still felt the old pull sometimes, the urge to push good things away. But now, when that cold feeling appeared in his chest, he recognized it. He would stop, breathe, and say quietly to himself, "This is the old program. Not the truth. Not today." Slowly, something began to change. He called Mr. Allen. He apologized, simply and honestly. Mr. Allen listened, and then he said something Daniel did not expect. "Daniel, I already knew something was fighting inside you. I just did not know what. Come back. The door is still open." Daniel went back. This time, when things went well, he let them be well. When someone trusted him, he let himself be trusted. It felt uncomfortable, like learning to walk again, but he kept going. A year later, Daniel stood at his sister's birthday dinner. He looked around the table, at his family, his friends, the warmth in the room. And instead of that cold fear in his chest, he felt something new. Gratitude. He thought, I almost ran from all of this. I almost destroyed it before it could hurt me. But I did not run this time. And it did not destroy me. It saved me. Here is what Daniel learned, and what I want you to carry with you today. Many of us are running old programs. Programs written in pain, in childhood, in moments we barely remember. These programs were never meant to hurt us. They were written to protect us. But we are not children anymore. We do not need those old rules. The first step to breaking any loop is simply this: see it. Ask yourself, where in my life do I keep arriving at the same painful place? What old story am I still trying to rewrite? Because the moment you can see the loop, you are already outside of it. If this story made you stop and think, if you saw even a little bit of yourself in Daniel, I want you to do one thing. Not like, not share, just one thing. Write in the comments, "I see my loop." Those 3 words, that is all. Because acknowledging it, even to a screen, even to strangers, is the first real step. We'll see you in our next story. Until then, be patient with yourself. You are not broken. You are just running an old program, and now you know where the off switch is.